Thank you for having me here. I talk in English. If you don't understand, I can repeat in German, but this is a worldwide broadcast at the same time as it is a demonstration, so a manifestation, so I do that. I have started reporting on male circumcision after this jurisdiction in 2012, so 14 years ago, where I just offered WDR, who is at the station that is nearby, to do a report about it, and they said, "Yeah, please do it. Do it about male circumcision and what it, who likes it, who doesn't like it, but don't mention religion," because they were really keen not to be called anti-Semitic. And yeah, well, I did that. You know, I'm freelance. I have to earn my money. Later on, the law was changed. You heard about it, and I had jobs to do in Africa. And when I went to Lake Victoria in Kenya, I saw a poster in a fisherman's office, and they said, "Come circumcise. Come get circumcised." They offered circumcision for free. And I became interested in that. And I learned that this is a program financed by PEPFAR. It's the the US presidential program against HIV/AIDS worldwide, because HIV, if it is somewhere, it also endangers other countries like United States. And this was a huge program, I learned. So far, the website of the WHO, the World Health Organization, says that 35 million young and older Africans were circumcised in the name of AIDS protection, prevention, lowering the rate, and there it starts. Because it's just based on 3 studies that were done in Africa in high prevalence areas, which found out in double-blind studies that with 2 groups, that the group that was circumcised had a 60% less chance of acquiring AIDS. And the one I did Victor said that I did a radio report on it, a long one. You can find it online again, still, in ARD Mediathek, and you can find it. And in the beginning, I thought, yeah, okay, this is a valid, maybe this is a valid cause. Huh? But then I got connected to critiques. The main critique of this is Michel Garenne in Paris, of the Institut France Pasteur, and he said, and he pointed to the fact that 60% less chance is not like being vaccinated against HIV. So you might get the impression that you can fuck around like you unprotected as you want, and then you acquire it, and you have a 100% chance if you do that for a while. And that is one point. And the other point is that this campaign, and you can still find it on PEPFAR web pages and WHO web pages, that the campaign attributes every success in HIV protection in Africa to circumcision. While they have done other things, of course. They have informed, they have PrEP, they have pre-exposure, they have after-exposure medication, they distributed that, they propagated condoms, of course. But each and every progress in lowering the HIV rate was attributed to cutting the foreskins. That was funny to me and really peculiar. Once again, I was in 2022, I think, I was again at Lake Victoria, and I asked the guys who were doing the circumcision campaign and all this HIV prevention stuff, now where's Professor Bailey from Chicago? He was there somehow supervising it from the United States before, and traveling there on and off, and he probably had a home at Lake Victoria. And then the guy there told me, Professor Bailey is in Indonesia. And I asked, what is he doing in Indonesia? And I was answered the same thing. He's circumcising. He's propagating circumcising. And I called up Professor Bailey in Chicago, and he confirmed that they are doing a study how to convince the people in Indonesia which are not circumcised, which are a minority in Western Papua. Don't confuse with Papua New Guinea. It is Western Papua. It's a province of of Indonesia, were trying to convince them with the methods that he had applied in Kenya and in 23 other countries in Africa to the non-circumcised communities there. So he confirmed that, but the study was not yet over. And later on I asked, so what about the study? Is it a success? And I researched it. Later he didn't answer the phone again. He didn't call me up again. He didn't answer the mails. And later I learned you can find the study online. The result, was not a success. The young guys over 14, 15 to 19 that they tried to convince in schools, only 94 of them got circumcised, and they had thought they could convince 400. Now, by the way, the age of 14, this is something which is really a crime in Africa. It has been a crime in Africa. It is a high-risk thing if you circumcise young boys, because the penis develops over time. It has stages, like the vulva, like the female private part also develop over time. And it is a high risk to cut away something when they are 8, 9, 10, 11. And they did that in Kenya. They did that in Kenya. Propagated went to first to the primary schools and said, get away of that skin goat that you are carrying here between your legs. It's dirty. And they made pressure, and the group pressure among the boys was high. I talked to people, to boys who had to convince their father, let me get circumcised, because I will be an outsider in school if I don't. So the father reluctantly, as a modern father, he undersigned the acknowledgement that his boy should be circumcised, and it was because of that propaganda. Now there's a good story about Africa. The good story about Africa is this evil guy, Mr. Trump, he's saving foreskin now. Because he has cut all the aid to HIV prevention. That is the good part of it. So, but the bad part of it is, of course, that all the medication that they were distributing, all the care that they are distributing to HIV-carrying pregnant mothers, and so on, has been stopped also. So doing harm to HIV prevention in Africa because of these, again, selfish motives. And now the bad news about Indonesia. Okay, the good news, I told you, the Indonesian older boys in puberty, they don't want to circumcise. They don't get convinced by a team of elders or in conjunction with scientists. That's what they tried. But the Indonesian army does. They go to the villages. They offer, you can get your boy circumcised for free. You are poor. And then but they're also threatening somehow by their appearance. This is the Indonesian army, who is also threatening all their livelihood as a minority, as a Christian minority in the east of Indonesia, in the west of Papua. So you can find these videos online, and you can find that whole story, which I wrote for the 14th anniversary of that day, for hpd.de, Humanist Press Service in Germany. The humanists are here. I don't know if you are related to them. But somehow, yes. They are the non-religious people in Germany. And you can also have this Google translated. It's in German, but if you look at it from another part of the world, you just paste that link to a translation website like Google or DeepL. Google is again supporting Trump, so try another one. But anyway, Ecosia. They're using also some other. But anyway, that is it. I wanted to open your minds a bit from Europe to other parts of the world where it is ethnically based, the circumcision, and not religiously and not custom based. And it's a lot of power behind it and a lot of money. Thank you.